Hi everyone, I'm here today at 114 Fremont Place, the legendary actress Bridget Fonda and her legendary composer husband Danny Elfman's property. A gorgeous 1920s Mediterranean home behind the private guard-gated community of Hancock Park. Bridget and Danny have customized and curated every inch of this home. It's a very authentic $3 million renovation that was meticulously restored. This is a very special property that has a surprise, a contiguous lot that they made into a mid-century modern guest structure. I cannot wait to show you this 6-bedroom, 8-bathroom Mediterranean home situated on just under 1 acre. This can all be yours for the asking price of $14.6 million. Here we are in the foyer of this fabulous 1920s Mediterranean. If you look down, we have a Batch Elder tile floor, which is a very period 1920s tile. There's also this gorgeous texture on the walls that looks a lot like a limestone. My favorite thing in this entire foyer is this book. Danny and Bridget always threw a very famous Christmas party. And it would be throughout the house, costumes, sometimes it would feature a special culture or a place in the world. A lot of the party details are noted in this book. So you've got guests in here, if you could just see, I mean, the signatures and the beautiful notes about the house and the fabric that really makes up this Fremont Place estate. All this original splendor, it's like a museum. If you look at the ceiling, this is all original detail. They had an artist come and hand paint every piece of this coffered ceiling. Everything in this room has been acquired from around the world, including the antique dining table and chairs. I love the fireplace and the Turkish rug that really brings in the warmth. Look at these toys from the 1920s. This is all a curation from Bridget and Danny. This is a great environment for dining and entertaining with your friends. When you first walk into this grandiose living room, your eye immediately is drawn to the 20+ foot ceilings. On the top of the ceilings is the most exquisite woodwork that also runs down these fantastic columns. If you take a look, there are faces throughout this woodwork which they meticulously restored. If you take a look at this wall, you will see everything from taxidermy to the very fun 1920s toys again, which is a theme that repeats in this home. Also, this fireplace is an 8-foot fireplace, and it has all of the ornate original detail. I can't pass by this fabulous monkey without talking about him. This is a real spider monkey. A lot of this tasteful taxidermy was acquired in a museum in Chicago. It was going out of business, and it fits perfectly in this room. This is actually Bridget Fonda's very own green room, as they call it. It's a gorgeous sunroom. You have an original fireplace. It's wood burning. While a lot of the collectibles are Danny's, the interior is all attributed to Bridget's eye. This room is the lady of the home's tea room, or where she hosts her friends. We're gonna go to a very public room, a grand room. Follow me to the ballroom. You're gonna pass by this exquisite foyer. You see the black and white floor, the original woodwork. This ballroom has its very own entrance. Everyone can come directly from the street. And here we are in the ballroom. When you're standing in this ballroom, you really feel that you're in a creative mecca. This is very, very exquisite. This becomes a stage, and Danny is known to get on the microphone and perform and sing for his guests. There is a screen that comes down, and this transforms also into a screening room. So this ballroom has multiple purposes. It's an art gallery, it's a ballroom, it's a screening room. I love this piece in particular, and the story is, each movie that Tim Burton and Danny Elfman would do together, Tim Burton would gift Danny Elfman a collectible. This particular one was given to Danny after Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is modeled after the Oompa Loompas. So this is a traditional 1920s farmhouse kitchen. Bridget and Danny made this upgraded with the latest and greatest amenities, the Sub-Zero fridge, all of the appliances, and they, of course, accentuated it with all the period pieces like this table and chairs. This is one of the 10 bedrooms that we have in the main and guest house, but this is a very intimate room. All of the furniture in here was gifted to Bridget from her grandparents. It's very reminiscent of Louis XIII, and if you take a look at the details, this is called wedding cake, and this is a beautiful feature of the 1920s that clads the entire room and the ceiling. And it's this beautiful green blue hue, and it's just a very, very restful, peaceful room. I would love to sleep in here. So here we are in the outdoor pergola. This is one of the features of the home that was added on by Bridget and Danny. This is a custom teak table. It seats 18. They've inlaid heat lamps above so that their guests are comfortable. You can hear the sound of the water from the water feature, which is just across from the pool. Now, behind me is a very discreet door that leads to the famous music studio of Danny Elfman. So follow me, I'm gonna show you where a lot of magic was made. You might have thought that his recording studio would be this grandiose theater, but in fact, he loves the intimacy of this room. This home could lend itself to another artist, and I really hope that it will. I want to show you one last thing before we leave this magical recording studio. These pull-ups. It's said that he has these in all of his recording studios, and I think it's just such a cool thing to understand the inner workings of this brilliant mind of Danny Elfman. I'm gonna now show you how the land adjoins, and you have the main house and the guest house. Here we are at 75 Fremont Place, a 1960s original mid-century property. Here was a complete wall dividing these two properties. You've got this fantastic yard, and it all leads into this jewel box that has been restored by Bridget. This property was built in 1912, but it became a mid-century masterpiece when it was restored in 1970. Bridget and Danny bought this about 5 years ago, and Bridget envisioned this entire look. So you have the yellow kitchen, for example, which is original from the griddle to the yellow cabinets. You've got these mid-century benches that Bridget beautifully covered. We have a really cool feature that was installed in 1970. It is none other than a screen that comes from the ceiling and drops down. It's so ahead of its time. I can't get over the screen. And this is a fully functioning original 1970s bar. They even make milkshakes down here. It's an amazing space, from the knickknacks to the art. It is very mid-century. So just across from the bar, here we are in the formal living room. When this house came on the market, about 5 years ago, Bridget walked in and said, I have to have it, and I want to keep it in all of its authenticity. So that's exactly what she did, acquiring mid-century pieces, fixtures, every little detail that you see in this home is period and was done by Bridget. She has an impeccable eye. Let's take a look at the formal dining room to see how they really lived during this era. Follow me. We're here in the formal dining room. What I love about this is the period wormwood, as they call it, wood that clads the entire room. It's very essential of the 60s and 70s. The original flooring, and then of course all the furniture that was brought here from Bridget. So we're gonna go upstairs and take a look at a bedroom that has been converted to Bridget's very own office. Here we are in one of the bedrooms. This was actually taken over and customized to be Bridget's very own office. When I asked Bridget what her inspiration was, not just the room, but the entire home, she said somebody very near and dear to me, Tony Duquette. Tony Duquette is known for maximalism, which is layer upon layer of fabulous, luxurious materials and fixtures, and that is exactly what Bridget achieved in this office and throughout the entire home. on over 1 acre of land, and of course in the very, very special gated neighborhood of Fremont Place. We took a look at a magical studio of Danny Elfman. We also looked into the personal family's rooms, such as Bridget Fonda's green tea room. We saw her office in the guest house with the fabulous leopard carpet. And this entire package is for sale and on the market for $14.6 million.